essence of the eternal divine spirit, the one that causes all that exists to exist, the one that is self-existent.
How many men have children and the children never meet their father? See, you created a void in that child because you are a part of that child.
Black power! Black power!
Black power!
Black power!
Black power!
Are you feeling fatigued and can barely make it through the day without some type of caffeine?
Are you on a journey of healing your body but need a little help?
Then alkaline water is what you really need.
Alkaline water has many benefits. Alkaline water can help restore pH balance in the body. Consuming beverages such as soda and coffee can make your body acidic.
Did you know that too much acid in your body has been linked to an anemia, heart disease, obesity, diabetes, autoimmune disease, chronic pain, and other chronic conditions like gout and arthritis?
Those who use alkaline water have reported increased energy levels, clearer skin, reduction in inflammation, better digestion, and many other health benefits. I've used alkaline water for years, and it's been instrumental in sustaining my health when I was diagnosed with sarcoidosis.
Are you ready to take responsibility for your body's health?
If the answer is yes, then our alkaline water is just what you need. Bring your own bottles. It's only $3 for each gallon. To place an order or for more information, you can reach us at 773-846-3091. Thank you in advance for your support.
Hi, my name is Sister Ebony Stevenson. I am your announcer for today. Welcome to the Toma Nation's weekly Sunday worship service from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. every Sunday at 616 East 71st Street here in Chicago, Illinois, and also live on Facebook. If you would like more information, you can reach us at www.facebook.com/TomaNation2 or give us a call at 773-952-8302. Now I am going to recite our opening. In the name of the eternal divine spirit, the one that causes all that exists to exist, the one that is self-existent, the one who directs the sunships of millions and trillions of years, and the one who made time the seed of the universe, known among the ancient Kemites or Egyptians as Amun-Ra and Aten, among the Hebrews as Ansar, Yahweh, and Elohim, among the Christians as Lord, God, and Jehovah, among the Muslims and Islamic world as Allah, the one God, among the Rastafarians as Jah, Rastafari, among the Yoruba tribes of West Africa as Olumare, Eshu, and many other Orisha names. I bear witness that all these names refer to the same one, Almighty Spirit, and it is to that essence which I give reverence and to whom I submit. I boldly proclaim that we, the descendants of those black men and women who survived the transatlantic slave trade, are the Lost 13 tribe, born in North America and are of a Nubian Kemetic lineage. I further proclaim that the blood of all the nations of the earth flows through our veins. I greet you in the ancient but holy words of peace, Hotep, Shalom, Assalamu alaikum, Habaragani, Alafia, and Ashe. Now I am going to recite the 13 points of what we believe and know. Number 1. We believe and know that we are not to repeat the mistakes of the past prophets and messengers of the Almighty Creator of the heavens and earth. Number 2. We believe and know that we can only establish an economic base through the application of the knowledge of self and the incorporation of the ideologies of the Honorable Marcus Garvey, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Mahatma Gandhi, and Ben Ami. Number 3. We believe and know that the prophets and messengers of the Holy Bible, the Holy Quran, and the Kemetic Holy Books were all black. Number 4, we believe and know that Jesus Christ of 2,000 years was and is a black man. Number 5, we believe and know that the knowledge of the Almighty Creator goes beyond books written by the prophets and messengers of the Almighty Creator. Number 6, we believe and know that in order to promote and coordinate unity, we must first recognize and accept the uniqueness of being able to worship our Creator, regardless of religious denomination, name, title, ritual, particular dress, or holy book, as long as it recognizes the Almighty Creator of the heavens, earth, and the universe as supreme. Number 7, we believe and know that it is impossible to tell the truth without exposing the wicked governments of the world. Number 8, we believe and know that the United States government, in collaboration with other European nations, have a now objective to exterminate dark-skinned people of color off the earth through the act of genocide. Number 9, we believe and know that some of the most effective methods that are being used today are AIDS, birth control, alcohol and drug abuse, vaccinations, gang and domestic violence, systematic elimination of trauma centers, the public school system, and public aid within the black communities of America and the world. Number 10, we believe and know that the last trick that Satan is playing on us is the dividing of us by our religious differences, religious gangbanging. Number 11, we believe and know that the conflict between the various religions are comparable to the conflict between various street gangs within the inner cities of America. Number 12, we believe and know that the war on drugs and gangs is a diabolical plot to disarm the black community of weapons, break up the black family, withdraw our constitutional rights, also kill and incarcerate young black males under the undercover code name Able 2029. And number 13, we believe and know that every letter, shape, sound, and numerical value contains esoteric information that completely transcends the specific contextual meaning of the word. Our purpose: to bring about the growth of a righteous community in accordance with the laws of the Creator of the universe, under the leadership and guidance of Brother Minister Raheem Quasad Aten, to provide solutions to the social and economic ills that plague the communities of urban America. Our goal: to re-educate and retrain youth and young adults to develop positive moral values as an alternative to delinquent behaviors, because you can't rebuild a community and not rebuild the minds of the residents of the community to meet the responsibilities of maintaining the community's image. Our mission: to enhance the economic development of our communities by establishing businesses, real and personal properties, thereby creating jobs and/or entrepreneurship training programs that will reverse the concept of leaving the community to buying back the community. Our motto: let your light so shine before men that they shall see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. Matthew 5:16. Now we're going to recite our salute to the red, black, and green flag. Everyone put your right fist in the air and repeat after me. Here's to this flag of mine, the red, black, and green. Hopes in its future bright, Africa has seen. Here's to the red of it, great nations shall know of it. In time to come, red blood shall flow of it. Historians shall write of it, this flag of mine. Here's to the black of it, 400 million's back of it, whose destiny depends on it. The red, black, and green of it, oh flag of mine. Here's to the green of it, young men and women shall dream of it, face shots and shells for it, maidens shall sing of it, waving so high. Here's to the whole of it, colors bright and whole of it, pleased is my soul with it, regardless of what is told of it. Thanks to God for giving me this great flag of mine. Please keep your right fist raised high in the air as we sing our Black National Anthem. Black power, black power, black power. Black power is the power to define, develop, and defend that which is in the best interest of Black people. Brothers and sisters, my name is Sister Ebony Stevenson, and I am going to be your lecturer for today on this awesome and amazing Sunday, July 27, 2025. Welcome to the Toma Nations weekly Sunday worship service. That's worship, WARSHIP. Come and join us each and every Sunday to be fed by God's messages in the Brain Carson community of Chicago, Illinois, at 616 East 71st Street, right in between King Drive and Cottage Grove. Today, the topic of my lecture is going along with our prescribed readings during the month of June, July, August. We observe economics and read books from S.C. Fuller, R. Anderson, and so I'm going to be talking about economics. And the title of my lecture is Survival Ain't Strategy, While Rock Bottom is a Setup for Rebirth. So I am going to begin by reciting our opening in the name of the everlasting Father, He that causes all that exists to exist, He that is self-existent, He who directs the sonship of millions and trillions of years, and He who made time the seed of the universe, known among the ancient Hamites as Amun-Ra and Aten, among the Hebrews as Anphal, Yahweh, and Elohim, among the Christians as Lord, God, and Jehovah, among the Muslims in Islamic world as Allah, the one God, among the Rastafarians as Jah, Rastafari, and among the Yoruba tribes of West Africa as the Shu, Olodumare, and many other Orisha names. I bear witness that all of these names refer to the same one, Almighty God, and it is to Him whom I give reverence and to whom I submit. I boldly proclaim that we, the host descendants of the Black men and women who survived the transatlantic slave trade, are the lost 13th tribe, born here in North America, and are of the Nubian Kemetic lineage. I further proclaim that the blood of all the nations of the earth flows through our veins. I greet you in the ancient yet holy words of peace, Hotep, Shalom,
Assalamu alaikum, Habaragani, Alafia, and Ashe. All right. So, as we here at the Toma Nation, if you've been following us, or if you follow our sister organization, United Black American Progress Association, you know that we talk a lot about us being on the economic bottom. And after we had the great lecture from Minister Kenneth Cox last week, one of our ministers made a statement that actually inspired this lecture, Minister Joshua, and he said that we weren't on the bottom, we were on the rock bottom. And so that's why the title of my lecture today is Survival and Strategy While Rock Bottom is a setup for rebirth. And so starting that out, we have to understand that in every generation, Black America has faced the illusion of the end. Yet every perceived collapse has birthed a new beginning. Look at the Great Depression, look at COVID, look at the economic collapse in 2008, right? The perceived end, when we knew that people were jumping off of buildings and committing suicide, especially during COVID, especially during the economic crash. Anytime there's a crash or anytime there's another level of devolvement of America, people go crazy. And so what the world calls rock bottom, Black people have often used that space for being a birthplace of genius and grit, and then also God. So this lecture begins not with wealth, but with wounds, not with abundance, but with ashes. But in those ashes lies the spark of resurrection. So when we talk about Black Americans, and we talk about us being in this United Snakes of America that we find ourselves in, we are not victims of circumstance. We are visionaries. We are vicegerents in the making, in the waiting. The economic foundation of our community has always been shaken by politics, poverty, and exclusion, right? Because we know that even when you are the so-called top level of Black business here, you still hit that ceiling because they won't let you go from here to be on equal levels with your white counterparts. That's not how America is set up. And if anybody told you different, they lied to you. Now, that doesn't mean we are powerless, because we inherited a divine responsibility to rebuild, restructure, and reignite the Black economy and the Black community. So when we talk about, this is something we know here at Toma, but if you don't know, listen. Energy doesn't die, it just transforms. And so must we. Rock bottom is not the end for us. It's the altar where we remember who we really are. Spiritually, we may feel exhausted, forgotten, or worried, but the truth is, we are being prepared for resurrection. The divine energy placed in us by our Creator cannot be destroyed. It can only be redirected. The Holy Bible declares, but we have this treasure in earthen vessels, that the excellency of the power may be of God and not of us. That treasure, that divine energy, that divine spark remains even in the darkest places. Even if you find yourself like you've never been this low before, you always have the opportunity to rise. The Holy Quran echoes this with, and do not despair of the mercy of Allah. Indeed, none despairs of the mercy of Allah except the disbelieving people. Rock bottom is not our burial. It is our becoming. It is the womb of our next transformation. And no matter how low we fall, the energy of our faith, of our ancestors, of our connection to our Creator, and our purpose is still alive, ready to rise. Dr. Claude Anderson once said, if you don't have power, you don't have a way to protect anything you build. Survival is not a strategy, it's a symptom. This is a call to go from surviving to thriving, from scattered efforts to collective power. Now, going back to the Holy Bible, Proverbs 13:22 says, I skipped myself a little bit, a good man leaveth an inheritance to his children's children. Is it just talking about a financial inheritance? This scripture isn't just a financial suggestion. It's a divine mandate. It's a warning to us as Black people here in America. If we don't build something now, we are sentencing our grandchildren and our grandchildren's children to spiritual starvation and economic slavery. When we fail to leave an inheritance, whether it be land, businesses, life insurance, group economics, shared knowledge, we force our children and their children to beg from the very system designed to break them. The same government that bombed our neighborhoods, flooded our communities with crack, experimented on our bodies, denied us healthcare, stole our babies, and called it policy. This is who we expect to house us, clothe us, feed us, teach our kids, and save us. That system has one mission, and that's extermination. AIDS didn't kill us fast enough. Crack didn't kill us fast enough. COVID didn't kill us fast enough. Food oppression, gun violence, mass incarceration, none of it has been enough to erase us. Why? Because the Creator is our direct connect. The Most High has surrounded us with divine protection. Watchers, beings, and ships that carry ancestral memory and coded knowledge beyond the grasp of this wicked world. Did you hear what I said? Isn't that how what the Christians be like, Jesus on the main line, kind of, but we're talking about the Creator on the main line. Does that responsibility come without anything? No. We can't keep teaching our babies how to beg. We must teach them how to build. Because if we don't, then their blood is on our hands. We must stop handing down trauma and start handing down titles. Stop recycling poverty and start pooling power. Dr. Claude Anderson told us plainly, Black people must build vertical, closed economies where the dollar circulates amongst ourselves before it leaves our hands. That's not a theory. That's survival. That's sovereignty. We don't need another generation of GoFundMes for funerals. We need trust, cooperatives, and corporations. We don't need another generation writing grants, waiting on grants. We need our own grant makers. This is not about charity. It's about power. Because when a good man leaves an inheritance, he's not just leaving money. He's leaving freedom, dignity, and a blueprint for self-sufficiency. Let's stop being on the menu and start building our own table. Let's stop asking for a seat and start creating the institution. Let's stop hoping for inclusion and start demanding ownership. Because we don't just owe our ancestors better, we owe our descendants everything. In the Holy Quran, Ayat 2. The Holy Quran, it's 2 Ayat 286. Allah does not burden a soul beyond that it can bear. These verses remind us that legacy and resilience are not optional. They are divine duties. So when we continue and we talk about breaking the poverty mindset, for too long, we've praised Black survival like it's the pinnacle of success. But survival is simply the floor. It's not the ceiling. Thriving is the ceiling. So as we redefine what it means to rise after hitting rock bottom, spiritually and economically, we must name the truths. Many of us are operating in survival mode. spiritually strained, financially stuck, and emotionally and spiritually burnt out. Yet the divine blueprint says we were not made to live in lack. In the Holy Bible, in John chapter 10, verse 10, it says, I am come that they might have life and that they might have it more what? Abundantly. In the Holy Quran, Surah 94, Ayah 6, indeed with hardship will be what? Ease. Survival mode is trauma speaking. Thriving is God speaking. And God never spoke scarcity over us. Dr. Claude Anderson teaches, you cannot be equal in a society if you don't own what? Nothing. And you don't control what? Nothing. The mindset of survival conditions us to settle for dependency. But what does God call us to? Dominion. Genesis 1:28. And God blessed them. And God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. And what? Subdue it. When we go to the Holy Quran, Surah 57, Ayah 7, believe in Allah and his messenger and spend out of that in which he has made you what? Successors. This is not about ego. This is not about titles. Reverend, doctor, all of the above, PhD, none of that matters. This is about stewardship. We are called to be vicegerents, stewards of this earth, this planet, creators of legacy, and builders of communities that reflect divine abundance. As we continue to talk about economics, we also read up on an amazing entrepreneur, and I believe Minister Rahim mentioned this in his lecture on the second Sunday, and that's Samuel B. Fuller. Even though he wasn't born in Chicago, he really brought a legacy to Chicago entrepreneurship that you need to understand. And he was born in 1905 into poverty in Louisiana, but he didn't stay there. He sold soap door to door and eventually built one of the most successful Black-owned businesses of the 20th century. He believed in enterprise, ownership, and what? Self-determination. He saw poverty not as a permanent condition, but as a challenge to outwork. Dr. Claude Anderson often cites S.B. Fuller as a model for Black economic independence. When you build your own businesses, you control your own what? Destiny. S.B. Fuller's example reminds us, we aren't meant to beg for a seat. We are meant to build the table. From a bar of soap to a manufacturing empire, he understood what many forget. Owning even one product that meets a need is a seed for wealth. In the Holy Bible, Deuteronomy 8:18, but thou shalt remember the Lord thy God, for it is he that giveth thee power to get what? Wealth. Holy Quran, Surah 53, Ayah 39. That man can have nothing but what he strives for. And as we move into August, which every Black person in America should know is a National Black Business Month. Here in the state of Illinois, in honor of the founder of the United Black American Progress Association, Dr. Webb Evans, we observe National Black Business Month, thanks to State Representative LaShawn Ford. So as we move into August at the end of the week, the July is winding down. We only got, what, 4 more days? We need to recommit ourselves. Let us study fuller, not as history, but as prophecy. His life whispers, your next business could bless generations. And that's a call to action. As we move into August, identify one Black-owned product or service your family can support every week. Or as Minister Joshua would say, or better yet, create your own. Now, continuing on with Dr. Claude Anderson, when we look at him being one of the most powerful voices in Black economic thought, his book, Powernomics, was a blueprint. And it's more than theory. It was a call to action. He warned us what would happen if we didn't do what? Take action. And what are we seeing right now with the way that this country is treating us as Black Americans? Are we a priority? No. Everyone else is a priority but us. Everyone else steps on our backs and the bones and the blood, sweat, and tears of our ancestors to rise up their own. But we're too busy worrying about stuff that doesn't matter. In Dr. Claude Anderson's book, he talks about the 5 pillars of Powernomics: economics, politics, law, media, and education. Excuse me for a second. Now, let's start with number 1, economics. We must do what? Build and control businesses. Politics. Use your economic power to influence policy. Law. Ensure laws protect whose community? Our community and our wealth. Media. Control your image and narrative. That's something that Minister Omari used to talk about all the time, right? Who controls the airwaves and why it's important for us to get our own message out there. This is why we started going live. This is why our founder, Minister Rahim, did his show, The Vantage Point, for 30 minutes, telling you what's really going on in the world. This is why we had the Black View when we talked about trending topics in Black America. We must, what? Control our image and our narrative. And then education. We must teach real history and economic survival. I'm gonna read a quote from Dr. Claude Anderson. You must have your own group self-interest, your own economic base, your own politicians, your own media, and your own code of conduct. What is that the foundation of? Building a nation, baby? A nation within a nation? In the Holy Bible, chapter 7, verse 12, it says, for wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense. But the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth what? Life. In the Holy Quran, Surah 2, Ayat 261, the example of those who spend their wealth in the way of Allah is like a seed of grain which grows 7 spikes. These are things that we can't just talk about on the pulpit in a lecture setting. We got to talk about these things with our community. But charity starts where? At home. So that means we must start talking about these things with our families. Because how are we going to survive without cooperative economics? How are we going to survive without pooling our resources? That means pooling our talent, our dollars, and our what? Land. Black Wall Street wasn't built by billionaires. It was built by barbers, farmers, teachers, tailors, from Susu savings circles to credit unions, from Buy Black campaigns to community land trusts. We have the tools. We have the blueprint. What we need is the 2 U's. Anybody know what the 2 U's are? UNITY, unity, and what? Urgency. In the Holy Bible, Acts 4:32. And the multitude of them that believed were of one heart and of one soul. Neither said any of them that all of the things which he possessed was his own, but they had all things common. In the Holy Quran, Surah 5, Ayat 2. Help one another in what? Righteous piety. Are you having these conversations at your Black Club parties? Are you having these conversations at all of these back to school events that's 50,000 of them giving away book bags and other necessities? Are we having these conversations with the people who really need to hear them? Because if we don't, who will? August is not just another month. We cannot outsource our liberation. We must build our own schools, our own banks, support our entrepreneurs, and raise children who understand group economics. In the Holy Bible, in Isaiah 61, verse 4, and they shall build the old waste. They shall raise up the former what? Desolations. In the Holy Quran, Surah 13, Ayat 11. Indeed, Allah will not change the condition of a people until they do what? Change it themselves. Wow. You got to change what's in yourself. Oh, I know it's 12:56. My time is coming shortly. If you would like to hear more of this lecture, feel free to drop us a comment if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, and I will bring a part 2. But I'm gonna go a couple minutes over, Will, because it would behoove me if I did not mention this. So when we talk about Black economics, and we talk about supporting Black-owned businesses, it's always that one. I don't want to spend my money because my order was late. Or I didn't like what they sold. Well, they had a bad attitude. Too often in our community, we carry a subconscious belief that supporting Black-owned businesses is a form of sacrifice. That choosing to buy Black means settling for less, giving up convenience, or taking on risks. But true sacrifice is not about loss. It's about growth. The Holy Bible says to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. Sacrifice is choosing something of a higher value, of deeper alignment with your own values and legacy. Supporting Black businesses is not a burden. It is an act of what? Resurrection. The Holy Quran reminds us, again, think about this. I'm gonna keep repeating this. Allah does not change the condition of a people until they change what is in themselves. When you choose Black owned, you're not giving something up. You are growing something up. We are quick to complain when a Black business is late, understaffed or struggling. But we don't bat an eye when a large corporation mistreats us on the daily. When customer service is lacking in a major chain, we still return. When a beauty supply store owned by another race disrespects us, we keep shopping there. But when it's one of our own, we write them off forever. The Bible teaches, Leviticus 19:17, thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Wow. And the Holy Quran, Surah 5:2, help ye one another in righteous and what? Piety. This isn't a business issue. It's the issue with your belief system and your heart. We must shift from our need to give something up to support my people to I have the power to choose who I build with. All right, that is the end of my lecture. If you would like more information, feel free to drop us a comment in the chat on YouTube or on Facebook. You can always join us live each and every Sunday at 616 East 71st.
Service. We invite you and your family to join us live every Sunday at 616 East 71st Street at our new time from 12:30 to Sunday worship service. We invite you and your family to join us from 12:30 to 1. From 12:30 to 1. Enjoy what you have heard. Please feel free to support us with a monetary gift on Cash App. That's $TON. This will conclude our live stream. The message you have been listening to will continue live here at the Toma headquarters. We thank you, Black family. See you next Sunday. Black Power.
This is the eternal divine spirit, the one that causes all that exists to exist, the one that is self-existent.
How many men have children and the children never meet their father? See, you created a void in that child because you are a part of that child.